Hello everyone and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7, where we'll once again finally be returning to the missions in this game. What's this? 2020. Large-scale bushfires break out in Australia. Bushfires, which began in September 2019, continue to rage across Australia into the new year, causing unprecedented levels of devastation across the country. They will eventually come to an end in March of this year. Well, thanks Kaz for that. But anyway, let us jump straight into it. Although firstly I should address, why has it been about 2 years and 9 months since my last driving missions video in GT7? Well, there was one in particular in the next set of missions that I have been well and truly stuck on for a very long time, but I was finally able to get gold. But we'll see that in a little bit. We'll start and go through in order of the mission, and the first one is at St. Croix. It's one of those overtaking ones where we just have to overtake a bunch of slower cars through a certain sequence of corners. So let's get cracking. We've got a Group 3 Audi and we have to overtake a bunch of Group 4 cars. Big old sand down the inside of turn 1. And you'll notice a moment ago I had a date drop down from the top of the screen, and that is when I first started recording these driving missions. So my first attempt at this was on the 6th of December 2022. So it has been almost, well, at the time of recording this voiceover, literally 4 days away from 3 years since I started recording this. So yeah, essentially it took me 3 years to do these driving missions. Of course, I wasn't doing them every single day in that time. I just had a crack every few months or so. But anyway, we continue to go on with this first one. Obviously, you saw that first attempt did not go so well. Got through turn 1 a lot smoother that time. And usually with these overtaking challenges, you can't go off the track, as you just saw. You can't make contact with any of the other cars. But you really do have to be aggressive, but not too aggressive, otherwise it's very easy to get re-overtaken, as we did just then. So, oh my goodness, it might happen again here, but I think we'll have enough horsepower to hold on. But that's got us up into 3rd position, so we're in an okay place at the moment, but I think we've already lost a fair bit of time. 2nd place is just there in front of us, so if we can carry the speed through here, there's a bit of a straight, so we should be able to take P2 before the next corner, and we will do that. So just 1st place left to go ahead of us, but they are quite a way in front, so I don't know if we're going to have time. The finish line is coming up relatively soon, so I think this might not quite be enough on this occasion, but it's going to take a little bit of learning. I'm not 100% comfortable in Group 3 cars at the best of times, and yeah, we can only manage silver on that occasion, but we'll have another crack at it and see how this goes. Over the course of the next few attempts, we continue to improve bit by bit, and we've got our time now into the low 1 minute 17s, and now we're close enough to almost make contact with the race leader as we send it into the final corner, and that brings our time down to a 16.2, but for a long time that was pretty much the best I could do, and it was very hard to get any closer than that, to be honest. But there was one attempt shortly after I probably got even closer actually, and that's this one you're seeing now, out of the final corner. We even had a bit of a run, but just not enough time to get past. We got our time down to a 15.9, but yeah, for over a year and a half, that was the best I could do. And we now move on to the 1st of July in 2024, and this was finally the day that I could get gold in this first driving mission in Gone with the Wind. And first overtake pretty easy. We did it kind of switchback style, which seemed to work quite well. And then this one is probably the most difficult to make without, getting too compromised or losing time. But we used plenty of that inside curb to try and open up the corner as much as possible. And I think we got away with it pretty well there, and we were still able to carry a good amount of speed. And I think that's a lot of the challenge. Just making sure you don't let that second car in particular be too much of a compromise as you make your way past. This third car is very easy. We catch up to them on a nice straight, so they're no concern. We'll blaze our way through on the left-hand side. And I don't know, but to me, it seems like, at least on this attempt, that the leader is a little bit closer to us. There have been various game updates between the last attempt and this, so it's hard to say if that played a part. But we do get the gold, and that's all that matters. So that's awesome. We get a 15.6, so we only shaved off, what, 3/10 from our earlier silver time. I feel like in terms of our proximity to the leading Group 4 car, we were probably, a little bit better off than that compared to the previous attempt. So maybe they slowed down a touch, but either way, that was still our fastest run. But anyway, with all of that said, it's time we move on to the next driving mission, which takes place at High Speed Ring. And this is not a typical sort of driving mission. This is a full-on race, a half-hour race, which automatically makes it one of the longer races in the game. At High Speed Ring, Group 3 cars, yeah, we'll see how this goes. We've picked the Supra GT500. It's got good straight line speed, which should work out very well for us here. And yeah, we'll see how this goes in this very endurance style race, I suppose. It's not going to be hugely long. There have certainly been longer in Gran Turismo history, but anyway, with that said, let's focus in and try and get through the field. We've moved our way up already into 18th position while I've been rambling on about all that. And we're trying to close in to the next car. We're not great through the middle sector. This car does probably lack a little bit of cornering speed versus other Group 3 cars, but hopefully on the straights we'll be able to make up for it as we bring it through the final corner. And yeah, you can see again, not gaining really through there, but on the exit we get in the slipstream, and we're down in map 6, by the way, and look at the way we're gaining already. So massive straight line speed out of this car, and this should be pretty easy for us to just rocket our way through and gain a few spots. Windscreen wipers on there, not sure what that's about, but anyway, we charge through the next few cars, a big old dive down the inside, and drifted in slightly to make our way up into P13 so far. Moving on to lap 3, and we make our way up into P12 with very much ease, as we've just got ridiculous straight line speed even in fuel map 6. So yeah, it's really working in our favor, as it is now starting to rain relatively heavily. So wiper on, and we are still setting purple sectors at the moment, but we haven't really put in particularly representative time yet, and we certainly won't be doing that this lap, as the grip begins to fall away. And yeah, we'll probably be coming in on this lap for a set of intermediate compound tyres. We don't have the weather radar up yet, but it's pretty plain to see that the rain is coming down. In fact, it might even be worth switching to the full wets if this rain is to continue, which it seems to be at the moment. So as we come into the pits, there is that decision to be made. We do go to the full wets, and we do need to also top up on fuel. This car is not the most fuel economical in map 6, it's alright though, but we will need to make a number of stops in this race for fuel alone, given that we used almost half a tank in 4 laps. So we get it topped up, and away we go once more. And yeah, we'll see what happens in the next stint. We move on then to the start of the next lap, and we begin again making moves on the main straight and moving ourselves all the way up into 9th position on that occasion. So, of course, wet weather's not going to slow us down on the straights, and we can have to duck to the inside there to get past them. And almost lost it there. Can we get this back under control? Just about, and we'll settle ourselves down for the corner, but up into 8th position after that little moment. The pattern continues on the next lap, although this time we do get an overtake done through the final corner. I'm certainly glad I went for those full wet tyres. The track is soaked at the moment, so we definitely made the right call there. As we blaze our way down the main straight, we're up into 4th position now, so absolutely flying through the field. Moving on then to lap number 7, and the top 3 have all made the switch on the previous lap to go into the full wets, and then immediately have come back into the pit lane. Presumably they're going to switch back to intermediate tyres, so they have handed us the race lead after that. As we continue on then, getting a little bit caught up on the inside curb there, and that is going to turn into a full spin as we head into the final corner backwards. We'll right ourselves again, but that has cost us the race lead. Truth be told, it's not the first spin in this race, but by far that was the most costly. Not too much to worry about though. We catch up to the Ferrari again very quickly, slamming into them on the way past, and we find ourselves back up into the race lead once more. Lap 11 of the race. It is still absolutely pouring with rain, and it is time for us to come into the pits once again, sticking on another set of the full wet tyres. Not that these have worn out at all whatsoever, but it is fuel that we are in short supply of at the moment. So yeah, we get the new set of tyres on, we'll fill up the tank and get going for the next stint. I'm not sure how much time we're going to lose here, if we're going to lose the lead, but the refueling rate is very quick, so I think we're going to still come out in front. So that's very helpful for us, and we can keep pushing in clean air. And yeah, we are well and truly clear of 2nd place. Moving on then, just a few minutes to go in this race now, and we do have to come in for more fuel. The track pretty dry, but I actually went for the intermediate tyres just to be on the safe side, because there are plenty of wet patches on the edges of the circuit, and pit exit also very wet. We have a huge lead. At the time we came in, there were only 5 cars left on the lead lap. We're not going to need too much fuel to get to the end, but we filled the tank halfway regardless, and yeah, we'll get going once again, and we of course retain the race lead. And that was about it in terms of the race. We were able to almost put 4th place a lap down, so yeah, we did this one very easily. And yeah, despite a number of mistakes throughout, including a few spins, yeah, we got the job done in that one pretty well. So we move on to the next challenge then, and we are at Circuit de la Sarthe in the Bugatti Veyron, and this one is actually really tricky because this is a very powerful car on not very grippy tyres, and not a lot of downforce either, to be fair. So actually just keeping this car in a straight line, as you can see, is about 90% of the challenge here. The other 10% is getting the thing to over 400 kilometers an hour. So yeah, this one could prove quite tricky. We do have some cars to slipstream from, but we'll just finish this first run as a bit of a baseline, and it's just not even good enough for anything. So yeah, this one I got stuck on for a little while, simply just because this car is so difficult to keep in a straight line. You have to be so gentle on the controls. It's unbelievable. But anyway, we'll see what we can do. We're trying to give the other cars a little bit of a wide berth on the way through. We're not actually really making use of the slipstream at the moment. We'll make use of it from this next car though, because it's nice and easy. and that does get us almost there, even with a relatively conservative run, up to 398 kilometers an hour. So with a little more aggression, we could certainly do it, but that was the best I could do at that time. But we move on to, again, the 1st of July 2024, and I had a much better run at it. And also the car became significantly easier to drive after various updates and things. So what was, you know, a near impossible challenge, just keeping this thing in a straight line, now became much easier. And I do appreciate the way the other cars move around as well. So you know, that car gets out the way that you just saw, and yeah, we smashed it on that attempt, 405, and that was nice and easy. So a game update making that one significantly easier, although it was very much possible before. I just needed a slightly less conservative run to get those extra couple of kilometers an hour. But anyway, next up we have to use our own car once again for a drag race. And back when I started recording these, I did not have a lot of cars, especially anything that I could, you know, immediately get ready for a drag race. So I had to resort to some of the more powerful cars in the game, and that I had in my garage at the time, to see just what we could do in this. So we're starting with the Red Bull. Surely, with how crazy this thing is, again, we're back to 6th of the 12th of 2022, and okay, well, let's actually do this right. You know, surely the Red Bull, of anything, should get, you know, a pretty good launch, but it actually doesn't. Like, not at all. That was a horrible launch, and we're not even going to be even close to bronze. Like, just, my goodness. I did give it a few more goes. I switched to the soft compound tyres. I was on the racing mediums before, so softs will give us a slightly better launch towards the end, and it's still terrible. It's still nowhere near good enough to get the run, and yeah, we're not even close enough to get bronze. So we move on to the 10th of August 2023, and evidently something changed with this, because as you can see, Viper gets a good launch, it pulls away, and then we immediately just drive past. We improved on our the time I just showed you before this by about 2/10, and we beat them by 0.444. So yeah, even our previous time would have been good enough to win on that particular run. So yeah, I don't know why they were so slow or so fast before, but anyway, there was clearly a change there that made it much easier now, or at least then. It could have changed again since 2023, who knows. But anyway, next up is a fuel saving one. So yeah, this type of challenge, let's be honest, it's not going to be the most interesting thing to watch. We just have to drive as far as we can around the Nürburgring in a Bugatti, burning a minimal amount of fuel. So straight into map 6, and just barely breathing on the accelerator, because we need to go a very, very long way around this lap. I mean, we need to go 8,888 meters, so almost 9 kilometers, to get gold on basically no fuel. It's going down at a ridiculous rate considering how slow I'm going. We need to coast as much as possible. We need to take advantage of any downhill sections we have, and we need to make sure we do not put too much power down at any one time. Because if you push it at all whatsoever, the fuel just drains. I'm sure there is an optimal speed for this. I mean, for all I know, I could be going way too slow, but just in my experience, this you know, kind of crawling speed has always kind of worked for these challenges. So yeah, see you whenever we're done. And so, after a solid 9 minutes or more of crawling around the Nürburgring, we have finally cracked the gold number, and from here it's just a test basically to see how much further beyond we can get. We do have a tiny bit of fuel left, but really not much, and we'll be out. So I imagine this will come to an end in the next 30 seconds or so, and we'll finally be done. So yeah, this has been an interesting challenge, but not a particularly difficult one. We have already cracked gold, so we just have to wait until we run out, which we do. And there we go, 9,223 meters, and that is that challenge done and dusted. Relatively easy gold, just one that takes quite a while to get. We move on then to mission challenge number 6 in Gone with the Wind, and this one is the reason it took me almost 3 years to make this video. We have to drive the Gran Turismo F1500 TA, I believe it's called, and we have to overtake 3 alike cars in the wet at Spa without making contact or going off the road. And that's much easier said than done, which is saying something. But anyway, yeah, this was an extremely difficult challenge. The run you are seeing now was the best of my initial series of attempts, but even then it wasn't great. As you can see, we start on the Kemmel Straight. The finish line is just after Stavolo, so we don't have a lot of time to make these overtakes, and there is certainly no margin for error. So yeah, it's really hard, and the problem is as well, as you can see, we're not even catching second place yet, and we're already probably more than halfway through the section of track we're allowed to use for this. So it's both a problem of, you know, actually driving this car being very difficult, and the other cars being very quick, but also being able to catch up and make the overtakes cleanly and efficiently without losing time. I mean, we lost no time at all overtaking the first car, and we're barely going to catch the second, and we'll have no chance to actually make an overtake on them. So we're nowhere near even silver, let alone gold. So I was at a loss at this point. I had no clue how to approach this one. So for a long time I just left it. But again, we move on to the 1st of July 2024, when I did attempt some of these again. And you'll notice the weather notably different. Of course, I wouldn't have known that at the time, having you know, had so long in between attempts. But I feel like the rain is a lot heavier this time. Not to mention various game updates, physics changes, and all that have changed the way the car handles and all of that jazz. So yeah, it's a very different kind of challenge this time. We managed to squeeze our way down the inside into the right hander there, so that is a bit later than we did before, but I feel a little bit better. I feel like it's slightly more possible than before. Second place isn't that far up the road, and we are somewhat gaining, so you know, maybe it's a little bit more possible. But again, as with before, this was my best attempt of, you know, dozens and dozens I did on this day, and we're still not going to be anywhere near gold. Silver is looking possible though. I don't think we'll be able to get it on this run unless we can get a really good exit out of Stavolo, but at least we've caught up to second place, so it's an improvement certainly. And we're right there. We're trying to find some way to carry the momentum through the right hander there, but no way to do that, and we'll still cross the line in third place, but it's an improvement. And yeah, that's really, again, the best I could do at the time. So we move on again to the most recent recording of this entire video, 27th of November 2025. And finally we are able to have a proper crack at this. And I owe a little bit of this to Grenster, Trans Am champion, and well, he helped me out with my wet weather driving a little while ago, and with that knowledge I thought, why not give this another crack and see if we can get this done finally. As you can see, I'm actually going worse than any of the previous attempts in this video, but we do eventually get past up into third position along the run towards Puon. But something very different I noticed here. Look how slow they go through Puon as we run very wide. So with that overtake, we're now right behind the race leader, and we are within striking distance of gold. We had to take some evasive action there though, and that will spoil the opportunity. But gold is right there. We can do this now. We just need the right run. And another thing I noticed in this series of attempts, if you restart from the pause menu, as I think I was about to do here, but I ultimately decided to cross the line and lock in the silver, the weather conditions will be identical to your previous attempt. But if you actually exit from the pause menu and then start again from the previous menu, the weather conditions will be different. And after testing again and again, I actually found it easier when the rain was heavier. I think the AI generally drove a little bit worse. So with that in mind, I restarted several times until I got a set of weather conditions that I was happy with. And yeah, we'll see how this now goes. One interesting thing though, as you would have seen in that first attempt, I overtook the first car very quickly, and I was not able to replicate that a single time ever since in any of the following attempts. So again, that could just be differences with game updates and things. But anyway, we overtake the first car here later than we ever have before, moving ourselves up into second place on the way into Puon. But again, using this wide line through Puon, carrying a bunch of speed. Again, I don't know how we can get away with the track limits there. That must be so borderline. We send it down the inside into the Fanya chicane, and we don't quite get the move done, but it's put us right in proximity to be able to get it done into Stavilo. They give us a little bit of space on the exit. It's always nervous times because any bit of contact means that we will have to restart, but we've got the job done. We've got ourselves into the lead, and we can finally tick this one off the list if we can just get to the line. And we're gonna do a little weave on the way. We finally get the gold, and that is 3 years in the making. My goodness, I can't tell you how many times I've attempted that. I showed you what, 4 attempts today, for the purposes of not making this video too long, but there were many more in between where I just found no improvement. But yeah, unbelievable. I genuinely thought I would never get gold on this. In the end, to be honest, it wasn't actually that difficult. Once I knew how to approach it and how to drive in the wet, and where the grip was on the track, it didn't take me that many attempts. On the 27th of November 2025, I probably tried it, I don't know, a few dozen times after probably hundreds beforehand. But yeah, anyway, we got that done finally, and we're just admiring the replay here because like I said, this was 3 years in the making. It's a really cool looking car. It's a shame it handles like rubbish in these conditions. I don't really enjoy driving it, but anyway, it's done, and now we never have to worry about it again. So with that out of the way, we can finally move on to well, the last 2 missions in this set, and eventually onto the next set of driving missions. Hopefully they don't take me another 3 years. But like I said, we've still got 2 more missions in this set, so let's switch our attention to those. Oh, you cheeky bugger. He just overtook me after the finish line. I won, mate. Come on. Alrighty, let's move on. Okay, this is a fun one. I do like this. This is one lap magic. So we have a series of various Ferraris. We've got a Ferrari GTO from 1984. We've got the famous F40 along with the F50 taking off next. We've also got the Enzo Ferrari, and we will be driving in the FXXK. So a whole bunch of very red cars, and it's our job to chase them all down within one lap of Monza. So the idea of these is that everyone crosses the finish line at the same time, like 5 wide. We'll see if that happens. But anyway, either way, we will see how this goes. We've got a pretty good run on the first car already, so they're clearly not going to be crossing line with everyone else. But we'll see if the others are a little bit closer together by the time we get there. These typically have proven quite a challenge historically in Gran Turismo games. I remember trying some of these challenges again and again in Gran Turismo 4. They were very, very difficult. Thankfully, generally speaking, these challenges and license tests are, for the most part, easier. There still are some, as you just saw, that are very difficult. But yeah, this one I don't think it's going to prove too much of a challenge because we've already passed 2 of the cars, and the other 2 are of course the slower of the ones on track. We're going to get past the F40 along the straight here, so we're just left with the GTO out in front, and I think we should be able to get it done on the run to the finish line. We'll be able to carry a little bit more speed through the final corner, and we've got infinitely more horsepower, and we're just going to blaze on through and get that one done with relative ease. Little weave to the line, and that's job done. So a nice easy one there after the absolute pain that was mission number 6. So that's done, and yeah, just took us a couple of minutes. And now it's back to pain. We are drifting, which has never been my forte in Gran Turismo. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. We've got a Viper, and yeah, we'll see how this thing drifts. It's okay, to be honest. Like, if someone with actual drifting skills had a go at this, they'd probably enjoy this challenge, because it does drift really well. But yeah, we're a little way off gold, not too far, to be honest, so surely this one's not going to prove too much of a challenge. But the problem is, there's not really, in terms of corners, they don't give you much to work with. That left-hander is a nice one to drift around. This long right-hander, if you can get it right, I'm sure you can rake in a bunch of points. And we do improve on our previous best somehow. I thought we were about to fail off the edge of the track there. But it's very difficult to actually drift through there smoothly and and get all the bits and pieces right. So yeah, it's really hard, and it took me many attempts to do this one. I didn't think this was quite as impossible as the one at Spa that we just did, but it's still very difficult. We do crack into the 7,000s after several attempts, so we're improving bit by bit. And I knew with the sort of numbers I was getting, and by the way, I'm not showing you every single attempt. This is probably one in every 20 attempts or so that you're seeing. And I knew that eventually, by nothing else, by random chance, that I'd have to get gold, especially after that run, 7,300 points or more. And yeah, we were able to get pretty close on that one. So one more attempt, and we should get there. Surely we can't get any closer without getting gold at the rate we're improving with this. So we continue to drift our way through, and hopefully this will be the run. We do hold a fair amount of drift through that corner, and finally we do get the gold. Not quite as painful as the wet weather at Spa, but yeah, that did take quite a while. But with that done, we can finally say goodbye to the Gone with the Wind challenges. That is the gold on the final challenge. And yeah, we can, well, move on to the next set in future. But for now, that is just about all there is. We'll just have a look at this beautiful drift through the infield of Daytona before we finish things off and check out the reward cars. And yeah, we'll finish things off there. So for getting all bronze, which I did ages ago, we get the Viper we were just driving, the Group 4, which is a nice enough car to drive, and yeah, worth 350,000 credits, but nothing special really. And then for getting all gold, of course we get this thing. We get the Gran Turismo F1500 TA, which is worth considerably more than 350,000 credits. So there we have it, 1 million for that thing. So it's done. Finally, we can never think about this again. Not that it was keeping me up at night, but glad it's over anyway. So that is just about it for this one. Gran Turismo is getting its Spec 3 update very soon, so we'll be jumping into that when we can. But for now, that is all for this one, so I'll say thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I really do appreciate it. Please feel free to give me some feedback in the comments. It's always very helpful. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye.